Hello and welcome to our modern money journey. Just a brief reminder that I am not a licensed professional. This is not investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of our Modern Money Journeys Build a Portfolio series, where every single month I deposit $100 into my Webull portfolio, we take a look at all the markets together, and then I make a purchase to add to that portfolio. We're going to do things a little bit different today and start out by looking at the markets instead of looking at the portfolio first. And we're going to start off by looking at the cryptocurrency markets. It's a really red day today. Today's Monday, March 15th. Really red day today. Bitcoin's down almost 7%. However, we can see that over the weekend, Bitcoin surpassed $60,000 and set a new all-time high in this ongoing bull run, in this ongoing bull market that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is in. Bitcoin crossed a record high of $60,000 on Saturday morning, continuing its rally as major companies and financial institutions adopt cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, the world's biggest cryptocurrency, was at $60,415 as of 7:25 a.m. Eastern Time, according to Coinbase, recovering from a dip at the end of February that followed a previous record high that month. So likely we are just seeing another dip after setting a new high, just like this run-up after this last dip from last month. So I'm not worried about this 5 or 7% pullback in Bitcoin. Even if it goes further, we may see a bit deeper of a correction here. We may see, upwards of like a 20% correction. However, like we've said before, in the last Bitcoin bull run, there were many 30% and even a few 40% corrections in Bitcoin's price. But we set a new all-time high once again, just after setting a new one last month. So this is a good, healthy indicator that we are still in a bull run. Let's move on. Taking a look at the US indexes, this is the S&P 500 over the last month. We can see that there's actually been a bit of a pullback in the S&P 500 index and then a recovery over the last month, and this had a lot of people scared. There were a lot of people on YouTube talking about, is the next equities crash coming? Is this the stock market crash we've all been waiting for? It may be closer than many people think, that stock market crash, but with stimulus on the way, you would be a fool not to be in the equity market right now with stimulus on the way. The government is giving out free money to people, quote unquote, free money, and a lot of that is going to end up in the stock market and in the cryptocurrency market. So once that got announced, I was not surprised that we saw a recovery. We can see the Dow had a bit of a spike as well, and if we look at the last 3 months, we're putting in more new all-time highs finally on the Dow, and on the S&P 500 we've been putting in new all-time highs for a while. Let's take a look at metals. Gold over the last month still trending down. It's been trending down over the last couple months actually. Let's take a look at silver real quick. Over the last month it's trended down a little, and over the last 3 months we've just been kind of range bound in this mid to high 20s range. And then looking at the US dollar index over the last month, we can see we've actually increased a little bit. However, we know that the dollar has been weakening over the last year. So that's what's going on in the markets. So let's go over and take a look at the portfolio. So this is month 8 of doing the Build a Portfolio series. So we have deposited $800 into the Webull account, and we have broke over $1,000. So we are currently sitting on a little over $200 in trading P&L, and then we've received a few dollars in dividends. Looking at the account performance over the last month, we can see that we're actually down about 5%, almost 6% over the last month. We received 63 cents in dividends from our Credit Suisse, the SLVO. This is our volatility play on silver. So we receive dividends relative to the volatility on the SLV silver ETF. And then we received 35 cents from our shares in Intel. Looking at our trading P&L, so this has to do with the price movement in our holdings over the last month. We can see that Virgin Galactic Holdings, or SPACE, is down the most over the last month out of all of our positions. So we're going to actually purchase a share of SPACE to rebalance our portfolio and gain a bigger position in SPACE. We're going to look at the whole portfolio here in a minute, but then after that we'll take a look at SPACE's chart, and we'll see why I think this is a good opportunity with this steep price decline for us to purchase another share of SPACE and add to our position. But let's look at the whole portfolio real quick. So overall, we are still green in most of our positions. We're down a little bit in SLVO, but this is a monthly cash producer for us, so we don't mind being down, a little bit. We know that the volatility of silver, we've seen the price of silver came down a little bit over this last month, but we know that the volatility of silver is still relatively high compared to, historical averages. So we know that we can still make a good return on the dividend from this. So being down a few percent on the actual position doesn't bother me too much. We're still doing really good on our Ethereum and Bitcoin positions. We got in, early on this bull run, and we're sitting on some healthy 200+% gains, and that's doing well and bolstering our account position or our portfolio position. Some of our tech plays like Cisco and Seagate and Intel are still doing really well in their double-digit gains. And then SPACE, we're still up great on SPACE. However, we just saw that it is the position that we are down the most on this month. And then Barrick Gold is our only position that we are down significantly on. So like I said, we're going to buy a share of SPACE to help improve our position on SPACE or increase our position on SPACE. We're actually going to buy another share of Barrick Gold to improve our position in Barrick Gold and increase our position in Barrick Gold. A lot of people are often scared to buy more of a stock when it is below the price that they initially bought into, and this is actually counter to what you want to do. If you genuinely believe that Barrick Gold is still a good buy and hold position, then we're just getting it on, almost a 25% discount. This is a 25% sale. If you go to the store and the steak that you were gonna buy for dinner has a 25% off sticker on it, you're gonna be happy. So this is a discount. I'm still a firm believer in Barrick Gold for a very long-term hold. I have made a lot of gains in a lot of my positions over the last several years by buying assets when they are out of favor with the majority of people. When everyone else is not looking at them, when everyone else is not talking about them, when they are declining in price, but they still have a strong fundamental basis to them, I will buy and then ride the price appreciation up on the other side when the market realizes that it is undervalued. So, enough of my rambling on. Let's take a look at the space chart so that we can see why we think adding another share of space will be good. So we were recently up in this, high 50s, low $60 range, and then over the last month we have declined significantly. This pattern is not too dissimilar from this pattern. We also came down and hit right into a nice healthy support range where we have support from this level and then support from this old all-time high, or this old high here. So this is a healthy support level. We're not too far above it, and if we add one share to our position, our average buy-in will be about this support level. So after this steep decline, I believe that space is at a relatively good buy to add a little bit to our position, because this is another long-term hold. It's a different long-term hold. It's a long-term hold for different reasons than Barrick Gold. But I strongly believe that we'll likely see the same pattern repeat out again. So we'll have this minor short-term bubble form. We'll put in a consolidation range like this, an upward consolidation range where we oscillate, and then we'll probably see another price bubble form that will be even higher than this one, just like this one was higher than the previous one. So I believe that we're gonna see a period of time where we can probably accumulate a few shares of space, or where there might be some time where you can accumulate some shares of space if you wish to do so. So let's start off by ordering one share of space. So let's do market. We're going to do a buy, and we're just going to do one share. Let's place that order, and let's buy. All right. And then now, let's buy our share of Barrick Gold. We're buying a share of Barrick Gold because they are the position that we are down the most on, and we still believe that they are a good hold for a long time. So they've been declining over these last several months. Gold, as we saw when looking at the markets, has been declining over the last several months. So this is not surprising. Gold's sort of falling out of favor with all the hype around Bitcoin, and with Bitcoin hitting these new all-time highs. I don't believe that gold is going to fall to some astronomically low number of $100 an ounce or a couple $100 an ounce like some people were predicting. I believe that physical gold will do well over the long term, as it always has, as a hedge against inflation, and I believe that gold miners will do just as well, if not better. So that's why we're buying another share. Let's do market. Let's do buy. Let's do one share. Let's place our order, and let's buy. All right, now let's go to our account. We now have one more share of Barrick Gold and one more share of Virgin Galactic Holdings, or SPACE. And now we can see our average price for SPACE is right around that $25, $26 level that was the support when we were looking at the price chart. So now we are right, our average buy-in is right below the current price support range. Now our average buy-in for Barrick Gold has been lowered, so our unrealized percentage profit loss has been lowered as well. And over the long term, we should see this appreciate in price. So a lot of rebalancing is typically done with selling your gainers, using that cash, and then purchasing shares that have underperformed. I'm more of a fan of using cash that has been sitting on the sidelines to purchase stocks that are once again at a good buy or have been underperforming to help rebalance our portfolio. All right, all you bulls and bears, we'll see you next time.